welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome back. It's the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast. We are on our hunt for hidden gems at the bottom of the Netflix stream.
We are indeed. Have we found one? Who knows?
In the past, yes.
Yep. Tonight, we'll let you know in the next hour. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, great.
Bit warm in here again, isn't it?
It's fine. We're all right.
It's warm.
Do you know why it's warm?
Why?
Because we're about to talk about a movie full of some hot movie stars.
We are indeed. It's
quite a starry cast,
quite the
this,
cast,
isn't it?
this. So the movie Nick is referring to is a movie called Setup. It was released in 2011. It's one of the oldest films we've done in a while. It's a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 25 minutes and is currently rated a 4.4 out of 10 on IMDb. 4.4.
The first thing that struck me about that was I don't feel like we get many movies in the fours.
That's true. We get 3s or 5s usually. we do avoid the 4s.
It just feels like it's an odd number.
It's not. It's 2 even numbers. 4.4.
What's it? An odd even number.
An unusual.
You know what
number.
I mean?
Should we talk about the title briefly? Why is it called Setup?
Because there's a setup.
Okay.
Why isn't it called The Setup?
Don't know. It's not called Set Up. It's called Setup.
Yeah.
There's one word. It's weird. I just find it a very strange name. This film stars 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He plays a character called Sonny.
He's like a megastar, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Hang on. This guy did
Still is,
the
I think.
He did the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
A couple of months ago.
Yeah. He's a big deal. Whether he was in 2011, probably was.
I feel like this is one of those movies where I think, all these people are quite big stars. And then I think, are they actually? Because are they just stuck in 2011, which is now quite a long time ago?
It's 11 years ago.
And actually, Ryan Phillipe has probably not been a big movie star for 20 years. And so 11 years ago, he was already well on the way down.
I've got a story in a minute that I'll tell you that is remarkable, I think. 50 Cent, you'll know if you've seen Get Rich or Die Trying, Power, or Escape Plan. There is 3 films.
Or music.
Or any music. Not any music, but some music. This film also stars Bruce Willis.
Sure.
He plays a character called Biggs. He's the big mob boss. Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis. He needs no introduction from me, and he will get on. We still feel like we should apologise to the way we treated him the last time he was on this show in Breach, Anti-Life.
Yes,
both are correct.
Both correct. Last season, which we absolutely slated. It was a terrible movie. We weren't very nice to him, and then literally the next week, news broke about him not being a well man and not having been well for a few years.
And actually retiring.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But this, as I say, is 11 years old.
Yeah, this doesn't come into that category.
And, well, it's still not a great movie
No.
that Bruce Willis is in, but he has spark in this movie, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which is more than we can say for the last time we saw him on this show.
He's currently number 3 in the Netflix charts, movie-wise, as well, because Midnight at the Switchgrass was released onto Netflix.
Okay.
And for some reason, it's charted. It's doing really well. So people just going for Bruce Willis movies by the looks of it. My mum and dad even watched it at the weekend. My mum and dad watched it at the weekend.
Okay.
Said it was shit. But then I explained to them why Bruce Willis was shit in it, and then they felt bad as well. So
spreading the good news.
Exactly. Also, this film stars, as we've just mentioned, Ryan Phillipe. He plays a character called Vincent. You will know him from Crash or Cruel Intentions over in here.
Okay.
Those 2 biggest films.
Do you remember a movie which always reminds me of you, because I lent you the videotape and you watched it with your parents and they had to turn it off, which is The Way of the Gun.
I don't remember
Which is like Ryan Phillipe and Benicio del Toro and Juliette Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
And the C-bomb is...
There's a lot.
It's in the first 10 minutes of this movie. Is uttered about 50 times.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I warned you.
Wow.
It's a really fun movie.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it since, but I believe you. This film was written and directed by a guy called Mike Gunther.
Okay.
Mike Gunther is not famous as a movie director.
Okay.
But he is incredibly famous as a stuntman and second unit director.
Oh, nice.
So he has 191 credits for stunts on IMDb. But I want to just list you some of the films that he was credited as the second unit director on.
Okay.
So I'm going to start at the bottom of his IMDb. Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Big film. Big film. Transformers Age of Extinction.
Okay.
The Purge Anarchy. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Great film. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadow. Star Trek Beyond, Transformers The Last Night, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Bumblebee, Bad Boys for Life, The Forever Purge, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Lost City and Ambulance. Which came out this year.
A lot of Michael Bay.
Lot of Michael Bay films. Yeah, and he's got 191 stunt credits. When he came up on IMDb, he's like, you may know them from, and there's like a whole list of films I've seen. He did the stunts for both Quiet Place films, Shang-Chi again. He's a famous guy, but he's only directed 4 films.
Okay.
This one, and he did a trilogy of war films that came out within 8 months of each other.
Back to back to back.
The highest of which is rated at 3.3 out of 10.
Oh, so this is his best film?
This is his best
According to IMDb?
According to IMDb, this is his best film. Do you want to know the story of how this film got made?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm intrigued.
So I've done a bit of research here. So the 2 producers on this film are called, their surnames are Emmett and Furler, right? They had this script that we've seen before us today, this film. They commissioned a writer to rewrite this script, which he did.
Yep.
That script was sent then to Bruce Willis and Ryan Phillipe.
Okay.
They read that script, agreed to make the film after reading that script, and appeared on set the first day and were handed this script. Ryan Phillipe lost his shit, refused to leave his trailer for 2 days.
Wow.
And has since never said a good word about this film.
Okay.
The reason they did it is to get those 2 on board.
You can't do that, surely.
And because the rewritten script was never used, that writer was never paid.
That is out of order.
They got into trouble with the Writers Guild of America for it, but nothing ever came of it. But yeah, they basically conned Bruce Willis and Ryan Phillipe into making this film.
That's bad. That's brilliant. That's a great story.
It's a great story.
Bad. That's
so
really bad.
Ryan Phillipe he's actually coincidentally in a film called The Lincoln Lawyer, which was what the Netflix show is based on. And when he was doing the press tour for that, he always mentioned a shit film he made with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And that's this film that he was talking about. He slags it off in every possible opportunity that he can.
Good man.
So I find that fascinating when I read that.
That's a great story.
You've conned 2 of Hollywood's biggest stars into making a film, and then literally cons them into doing it.
I can't believe there's nothing in like the small print that says, "Hang on, this is you're giving me something that's a different thing to what I signed up for."
Apparently, it was a lot different as well. Yeah, he didn't leave his trailer for 2 days. He refused to work until he got made to work, and that's why he's so shit in it because he just didn't care. I don't think. Fascinating.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it really is. Before we start, this isn't a good film. Let's just put it out there right now.
Oh, this is. I couldn't get over how bad it looked.
It looks awful.
Yeah.
Some of the filters and the way it's shot.
Well, I mean, my question was going to be, how did you get 3 quite big names into this movie? And well, that's the answer. You
con them into
lie
it.
to them.
Yeah,
because it looks fucking amateur.
It does,
to be honest.
Yeah,
really cheap, really bad.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Do you have a 1-word review of it?
Grey.
Yeah. Why is it so grey?
It's like there's a fucking film over this film.
There is. It's so weird. There's no blue sky. The sky's just grey all the way through.
Everything
everything's just bleached out.
Grey. And it looks awful.
You know when a film has like a flashback or a memory and they do their filters on it?
Yeah.
This whole film looks like that.
Yeah.
It's so ugly. It's an ugly film.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look pretty at all. Where does this film start, Nick?
I put a quarry/junkyard.
Yep.
And stuff's happening. And then there's a voiceover.
Yeah, it's 50 Cent.
From Fiddy himself.
Fiddy.
And I've just put, he wanted to be a priest, but he isn't.
Yeah. So basically, his voiceover says, he stands in the junkyard at the back of his car looking in the boot.
Yeah.
And he says, when I was younger, I wanted to be a priest. But that's not who I was. I wanted to save people, but now who's going to save the world from me?
So fucking pretentious as well.
Yeah. That's it, right? For that bit. Then it comes up 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
And I've put, from what?
Yeah. from 50 Cent being in a
doing
junkyard.
A voiceover.
Yeah. Walking, getting out. He gets out his car, doesn't he? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the earliest question mark I've ever put on my notes. It's 3 lines in. So it just blew my mind. I'm like, nothing's happened yet. It's bizarre. So we stick with 50 Cent 2 weeks earlier from when he thought he wanted to be a priest, but now he doesn't.
My next line is, here's Ryan Phillipe in a hat.
Yeah, so
I could tell this was already. I just knew.
As soon as I was like 2 weeks earlier from what, I was like, yeah, this one's going to be garbage. Sonny goes to pick up Vincent from his hat. From
his hat.
No, he's not from his house. From his hat. He's been visiting his dad in
He
prison.
has, yeah. Oh, and also, his dad's fucking James Remar,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
He's also in this movie.
Dexter's dad. Probably the best thing about it as well. Whenever he came on screen, I was like, can we just have more of him, please? Yeah, he's been visiting him in prison, so Sonny goes to pick him up. And then he goes to pick up another dude whose name is Dave.
Yeah. My favourite, Dave is spoken about later in this movie. It's one of my favourite lines.
Yeah.
Possibly in any movie we've ever watched.
Okay.
Not to hype it up.
We'll get to it. I don't know if he was called Dave because he looks a lot like Dave Franco. I think it might have been a joke. But yeah, he goes to pick him up from his... he's just moved into a new house. He's got a girlfriend. He goes to pick him up. So the three of them are...
They just do some man bants in the car,
Yeah,
don't they?
we're establishing that these three guys are mates and they've been mates for a long time.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know so far. Back at the prison, James Remar is mopping. That's what I've written next.
Moping or mopping?
Mopping, both. He's moping over his mop. Basically, James Remar's in prison. Vincent's his son. James Remar's mopping some floors in prison.
Yeah.
Beats up a black fella.
And he's kind of protected, isn't he?
Yeah, he seems... Well, this is what we're establishing in this scene, that there's a...
He's got a rep.
Yeah, and he seems to be untouchable, and he beats up this dude with no...
The guy's like, you just fucking wait. If you ever get back to Gem Pop,
yeah,
you're a dead man.
You're a dead man. He uses the N-word a lot of times in this scene, so
Yeah.
if that triggers you, that might be an issue. Then we come back to Dave, Vincent, and Sonny
Now they're having more man bants,
on a roof.
but they're on a roof.
They're on a roof somewhere, just drinking from a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
And they're just having some banter. We're again establishing that they've been friends for a long time. This is very important that we established this
bros.
earlier. Yeah, they're bros. They've been bros since high school.
Yeah.
We just needed to establish this early because of what happens next. Next day, they're all sitting in a van together. All of a sudden, they get out of this van and start randomly shooting people.
They do a crime.
So they pull over a limo, like a posh car.
Like a town car type
thing. Pull out the driver, pull out the guy in the back, randomly just shoot the shit out of the area around them for no reason. The dude in the back of the car's got a briefcase handcuffed to him.
He has.
They cut that off.
They steal the briefcase.
Don't kill the woman who's driving the car.
Nope.
Do kill the guy with the briefcase.
Vincent just shoots
him
that
in the
briefcase wanker straight in the head.
He does. The other two don't appreciate that. There was no need for it. They'd already got his briefcase.
Oh no,
and he
because
was already on the floor.
it's really clumsily handled. Because you get we see the briefcase guy going, don't shoot me, and then it keeps cutting back to Ryan Phillipe starting to shake. Is he going to shoot him?
Yeah.
And then we cut to Fiddy going, don't shoot him.
But they've all got masks on.
Yeah.
So we're cutting to the same mask all the time.
And the guy, Vincent shoots him in the head.
He threatens to shoot the lady driver as well, but they don't. And then they drive off and they get away with whatever's in this briefcase. Cut to a car park.
They're waiting for their guy.
They're waiting for the guy to come and pick up whatever they've stolen. They open up the briefcase and there's a lot of diamonds in it.
Yeah.
$5 million worth of diamonds.
There is.
In a little pouch in this big briefcase.
Yeah.
They're waiting for a dude. The dude turns up. Vincent says, hang back here, Sonny and Dave. I'm going to go and get this car cash.
Yeah.
Given the brief, puts the diamonds through the window. The man doesn't give him any money, gives him a gun.
He does.
Which Vincent then uses to shoot his two best friends from school.
Goddamn double cross.
He double crosses them.
Shoots Dave dead.
Shoots Dave dead. Thinks he shot Sonny dead.
He doesn't really do a very good job. No.
Doesn't check. One bullet in each of them. Accidentally, Dave is dead. Sonny is not dead. Sonny's voiceover comes on again, and he basically says, "I'm not dead. I'm alive."
Yeah,
that's basically what his voiceover says.
He goes to see his tattooist friend.
I said that. I've written that. I was like, he's gone to a tattooist. That's a bit random. But it turns out tattooists have antiseptics and stuff, so that's what he needs because he's been shot.
And pliers.
Yeah, there's a quite gruesome scene where he's pulling the bullet out of Sonny's shoulder.
I didn't understand the logistics of this shooting because Fiddy has been shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yet his tattooist mate goes, "It's a good job you were wearing this cross, this necklace, because it saved you. The bullets winged it." Now, I don't know how your anatomy is, but if I'm wearing a necklace, it ain't near my shoulder.
No. So are we saying the bullets hit the necklace above his heart and pinged off into his shoulder?
I think that's what this movie is saying.
That's possible, I guess.
It weren't that big a necklace.
It weren't that big a bullet.
The absolute clumsy subtext here being that God has saved 50 Cent.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole God line in this. So his mate sorts him out, gets the bullet out, patches him up a bit.
The other thing I didn't understand is that, so this tattoo guy is like, Vince, he's been bragging around town about what's gone down. And I'm like, how much time has passed?
Literally.
Fiddy's just like limped straight here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's still got the same clothes on.
He's already got his ear to the ground and know that.
Unless, was he talking about before it happened? He was bragging about what he was going to do?
Either way, either doesn't work or it was badly.
It's clumsy.
Put together.
It's definitely clumsy. The tattooist even gives him a new t-shirt. He's like, right, you need to wear this because yours is all ripped.
And he gives him a tip off of where Vince might be hanging out as well.
Yeah, he does.
So it was all just jumbled.
Clumsy.
Really jumbled.
And it then comes up on the screen 1 week later.
Yeah.
So we're now 1 week earlier than where we started, but also 1 week later than from where we got to after the first bit.
Yeah.
So it's all very confusing. And Sonny's in a church. He's gone to find God and talk to God about what's happened. Talks to a priest for a little bit.
God bants.
He says, I'm praying for my friend who's dead. And the priest's like, oh, shit, I didn't know you had a dead friend. His face just changes. It's really weird. That's when
probably the best actor in this.
Yeah. That's the first time we find out that Dave actually is dead, because we didn't know that until this point. And then the film changes its whole art style completely, and a man comes on the screen, and it does that thing where it pauses the action and gives you the man's name above the bottom.
There's a cap, so it goes arty and like as in pop art and this. Now when a significant character is introduced, you get a caption, and this one says "The Hitman," and it's kind of like Smoking Aces type thing.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
That has been no hint of that sort of art style or directorial style up until this. Now, 20 minutes into the movie,
and they only do it 4 or 5 times when new characters appear.
Yeah, but they didn't do it at the start.
No, they didn't do it at the start.
Any of the main characters,
but they don't do it for any other reason either. There's no other directorial choice to make it that style of movie,
and it doesn't fit with what we've
seen.
No,
it doesn't. It's stupid.
It's
stupid.
Made me angry. It's just like
anyway, we meet the Hitman, not Bret Hart.
This guy was fucking awful.
Oh, he was so bad. In a film of bad actors or bad characters played by good actors, this is the worst of the worst.
This
scrawny little weed of a man
threatening 50 Cent here. Like he says, I've been handpicked to get that $5 million back.
Yeah, I want those diamonds back. You've got a week to get me the diamonds back.
Yeah, it was
50 Cent literally could have grabbed his head and squeezed him, and he would have popped. He's like, I'm the dude they've sent to get the money back.
Yeah.
Oh, even I wouldn't have been scared for him. And he's like, it's only taken me 2 days to track you down. Well, he's not even been hiding. He's been in a church.
Yeah.
He says you've got a week. That we know what happens in a week. He's still alive and he's standing at the back of his car. So we'll see what happens. Then Sonny randomly lets himself into a club where there's a poker game going on.
So I presume this is the tip off
from the tattoo.
The tattoo is it, but he's waited a week.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have to get better from the whole gunshot wound, I suppose.
Yeah,
so
true.
We'll forgive him that.
So he lets himself in. He tells these people who are playing poker, they look like quite important mob people.
Yeah, they were like mob bosses. And this made me laugh unintentionally because our friend Fiddy gave up really easily.
He did.
He comes into this poker game. He's like, "Where's Vince? He owes me. I'm looking for him." And they all just go, "I don't know." And he goes, "All right, fine." He just goes, "All right, fine. Well, if you see him, tell him an old friend's looking for him."
Yeah. It made me laugh because he came in and...
He didn't threaten them or anything.
No. He came in and one of the old guys goes, "Are you seriously going to rob us? Like, as you know who we are." And then he's like, "Do you know where Vince is?" They say no. He's like, "Okay, no problem. Now I'm going..." And then he goes, "Now I'm going to rob you." And then he robs one of them. Just the guy who he's sitting closest to. He takes some money off him. No reason to rob these guys, but he does. It's very, very strange. Then he goes to a cafe and he talks to this waitress.
Yeah, chats up a waitress just to show that 50 Cent is also a ladies' man.
Yeah. And I thought, we're getting like he's going to get distracted now by this love that he's going to fall in love, because that's always happens in these kind of movies. There's always a subplot of a woman. She never comes back.
No.
Never see her again.
No.
She just was there to wish him a happy holidays, because this is another Christmas film.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
We've done another Christmas film accidentally. And then, but when he leaves the cafe, he gets punched in the back of the head by the Muscle.
Yeah.
Comes up on the screen. Some dude who's about as old as my dad.
This is Ultimate Fighter, Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Mixed
Let's talk about
martial
Randy Couture later. I can't wait to talk about Randy Couture later.
Me neither. It was like, I can't wait to get to that scene, because it was like it was dropped in from a different movie.
It really was. His character we'll get to it, but his character changed completely. So this is the Muscle. We meet Randy Couture. That thing happens again where it's pop art on the screen. Yeah. And then when he wakes up, Fiddy wakes up, he's in front of the mob boss. That also comes up on the screen.
Yeah.
In pop art style. And that's Bruce Willis.
It is.
Bruce Willis finally shows up. This is Biggs. He's the mob boss. And he says, you can't come to my town and start busting up poker games.
Yeah.
So basically...
He's like, who are you looking for?
Yeah.
Who are you and what are you looking for? Why are you messing with my friends?
Why are you messing with my friends? Why did you break up that poker game? And...
Sonny tells him what's happened.
Yeah, he tells him the truth. He's like, look, I've been screwed over by one of my oldest friends. He's stolen some diamonds from somebody. I'm trying to find him. And Big says, okay, well, I'll help you find him. But first, you need to kill some Russians for me.
Yeah, he's like, I kind of like you, young whippersnapper.
An eye for an eye and all
We'll
that.
help you.
Yeah.
I need you to do something for me. Some Russians stole some money for me.
Yeah.
Go and kill them.
Yeah. Basically, somebody's stolen some money. We lost track of where that money was, but the Russians have now found it.
Yeah.
It's buried in a grave with somebody who stole it. They're about to get it back. You need to get it off them. So Vincent's like, all right, no problem. I'll do that with you. And Biggs is like, take the Muscle with you.
Yeah.
Petey.
Yeah.
The Muscle guy was called.
So Sonny and Petey are now off on this
buddy comedy cop movie.
Well, there's a point where it suddenly turns into a comedy for about 4 minutes.
Yeah. It's
in
not
a
quite
second.
there yet, but
yeah.
Petey's character was trying to be funny all the way through, and it's a bit
Yeah.
silly. So they end up sitting in a van in a graveyard while some Russian guys dig up a grave.
Yeah, and Petey says, don't get out yet.
Yeah.
Let them do all the work.
Yeah, they're going to
We'll
dig
just
up this
go
grave.
and
We'll just get it when they've
Nab
got
it
it.
off them, yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly what they do. So the Russians get this money out of the grave. Petey's like, right, go and do your bit. So
Again, they put up little to no fight.
Sonny goes out. He basically bangs Ron around the back of the head and takes the money. He doesn't shoot either of them. He just knocks them both out.
Yeah.
Gets the briefcase of money, takes it back to PT, and they're all done. That was the easiest mission in the history of movies. PT's happy. Biggs will be happy too.
He said, Petey says to him, now you've done that, Biggs is going to help you. No worries.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. He'll help you with your Vince problem.
Yeah, you're sorted.
But
the man is true to his word.
Now we've done our night's work. How do you feel about going and partying?
Yeah.
Do you know anyone?
Do you know where we can score a bag? Is what he says. And Sonny's like, yeah, of course I do. I'm into drugs. Let's go and visit my mate.
Yeah.
And this whole film now, for the next 5 minutes, goes to the ridiculousness. It's ridiculous.
What the fuck was this 5 minutes in this film?
It's complete. It's not this film.
Yeah.
It's completely not this film. It's so bizarre.
It was like, we've shown that Fiddy can do voiceovers, bit of action, bit of romance in that one scene.
Yeah.
Now we need to do 5 minutes for his show reel so that he can do a bit of comedy.
Yeah. And let's also let Randy Couture go completely goofy.
Yeah.
For no reason.
This character's just going to change.
Yeah. I can't believe what happened in this next scene. I really, genuinely can't. So
I thought I was having a stroke.
I did. I thought you were having a stroke too. So they go to this guy's house, who's the drugs guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a pop-art thing on the wall. It's
No.
not important enough. He's got a shed load of guns in the room with him. He's like he's waiting for a war to break out.
Yeah.
And he's playing Call of Duty on the PlayStation when they turn up.
And he's also got like bags and bags of weed.
There's weed everywhere.
Snake weed, it's called.
Snake
Do you know
weed.
why it's called snake weed?
I do, but I can't remember.
Because it's smuggled into the country in the bellies of a snake.
Oh yeah, because no customs guard is going to rip open a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good idea. It's true. So, Petey loves guns.
Yes, he's just mucking around.
He's just
in the
messing
background.
around with the guns whilst Sonny and this drug dealer guy, I don't know his name, go to do the deal.
Making the transaction.
Yep, he buys a big old bag of weed from him. And they can see Petey's like being Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
just
like
like playing with the guns. He's like,
because he's a gangster, and
Yeah,
that's kind of
what
okay,
gangsters
fine.
do.
Yeah,
so they're having a chat. The guy's getting annoyed that Petey's playing with all of his guns. They're having a chat. He's getting annoyed again. They're having a chat again. Then suddenly there's a gunshot.
Yeah.
And they both jump up, like, what the hell? Go into the room. Petey's only gone and shot himself in the head.
Yeah. I'm like, my next note is this now Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Like when they blow that guy's head off in the car.
Yeah.
I was like, where's this come from?
He literally accidentally shoots himself in the head
Yeah.
with a loaded gun.
Again, tonally.
Out of nowhere.
It's just nothing to do with the previous 40 minutes of this movie.
They were done with him and they didn't just needed to get rid of him. It was so ridiculous. I laughed.
Yeah,
I'm
me
pretty
too.
sure I'm not supposed to laugh.
Definitely not.
But it was fucking so funny when they just walk in and he's got a hole in his head. I can't believe that guy's just been pissing about with guns and shot himself in the head. It should be an anti-gun advert.
Yeah.
Just show that to kids because it's hilarious. Those two, obviously, though, they freak out a little bit.
Sure.
Because they've got a dead, massive guy on the floor now.
Yeah.
He's a big old guy, Randy Couture. So this was great as well. Because Sonny goes to him, "We've got anything we can wrap him up in?" He's like, "Yeah, there's a big tarp here."
Yeah.
He just pulls out this massive tarp just from right in the lounge.
Just for these occasions.
Yeah, just for when people accidentally shoot themselves. So they wrap him up in a tarp, put him into his own trunk in his car, and then this next bit's even more mental.
I forgot about this bit. Yeah.
So Sonny's like, Sonny
is a man who knows people.
I know people. I can sort this.
Yeah.
The drug dealer's like, "Well, do it, but you never."
I thought he was just going to return him to Biggs.
Yeah, I did. Or
Like,
just drop
there you
him
go.
somewhere,
Yeah.
dump him off the edge of a bridge or something.
No.
He's like, the drug dealer's like, "Never come back to me again. You're not welcome anymore.
Yeah.
We're not mates anymore." So Sonny drives off in Petey's car and he goes to see a guy, and it comes up on the screen, the butcher.
Yeah.
Goes to see the butcher. And this guy's insane.
He's like a British surgeon.
Do you remember that guy who used to do autopsies on TV?
Yeah.
The German guy.
Yeah.
Reminded me of him quite a
Sure.
lot. And
How fucking fast does this guy chop Randy Couture up?
so he butchers him. He chops him up and puts him in a mincer.
Yeah.
A live, giant, human-sized mincer.
And then there's like a voiceover where 50 Cent goes, "And that's why I don't eat burgers," or something like
Yeah,
that.
like there's human meat in burgers. He literally minces the guy.
Yeah.
They chop him up and put him through it. And you can see the mince coming out. There's mince meat. What the hell are we watching? It blew my mind. Like, I can't believe those two scenes are in this
And then
film.
once that scene's over,
We're done.
nothing like that happens again in this movie.
No more comedy. No more anything good, but no more comedy.
It's like someone's just chopped a different movie in for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's ludicrous. I
Yeah.
cannot say enough how ludicrous
I
it
mean,
is.
I say this a few, I love that this sort of stuff, A, exists, B, makes it into a finished product, and C, then gets on Netflix.
I mean, I know
It
they conned
doesn't
him into
make
it, but
any
it
sense.
attracts people as high caliber as Bruce Willis. I know they conned him
I
into
can
it.
see
but-
why Ryan Phillipe was fucking angry
Yeah,
about this.
yeah.
I mean, it's garbage.
Yeah.
It's
It's
and you can
garbage.
tell
It
because
really is.
you can tell Phillipe isn't interested.
Yeah, no, not at all. He's not in it for most of it.
No.
You notice we haven't seen him for ages, and we don't see him for ages.
I would say 50 Cent's just bad.
Yeah,
Bruce Willis is only in like 2 scenes.
but he looks like he's enjoying himself.
And he's got a bit of spark to him. Yeah, he looks like he's having a bit of fun.
He's been there for 3 or 4 days,
Yeah.
hasn't he? And he's just like, let's just have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
I'll play a mob boss, that's fine. I've done it hundreds of times before. Randy Couture had some fun with some guns. Ryan Phillipe is very hard done by in this film.
Yeah. I really like this bit.
Go on.
Again, unintentionally. Because 50 Cent, Sonny, he leaves the butcher and there's another voiceover and he says, "I decided my next stop was to try and find the driver from the
Yeah.
heist." And we immediately cut to him finding the driver
Yeah.
just in his car. So we're in like New York or some big city.
Yeah.
How easy is it to find a specific driver?
He doesn't
There's
know.
no thing of like how he's tracked her down.
Doesn't know who she is, where she came from,
A
who she works
montage
for.
looking for number plates
No.
or using an voice. It's oh, there she is.
She's just over there.
Yeah,
Because he was sitting in a van whilst he was doing this voiceover,
Yeah.
and then she's just over the road.
Again, it just made me laugh.
She gets
ridiculous.
She gets the pop art treatment as well as it comes up the driver when
Yep.
she comes on the screen. And he just gets in the back of her car.
And then he goes, drive.
Driver.
And she drives for 3 seconds.
She does.
And then he's like, stop the car.
Drive. Pull over. It's literally that. She's like, already?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And again, similar to his questioning of the poker guys.
Yeah.
Sonny goes, where's Vince?
Yeah.
How do you know Vince? And she goes, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he is. And he goes, okay, cool. See you later.
It's basically happens. She says she never met him. She got given $5,000 to drive that client on that day.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's like, I've got no follow-up questions.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for your assistance. I will see you around. And he gets out, but then he follows her.
He does. Yeah.
So he doesn't completely believe her. He gets out. He very indiscreetly follows her.
Yes.
Like
Park's like right behind her.
yeah. She drives to this house. She gets out of the house. There's a massive number in the garden of what number house it was. But then he just parks right behind her and she gets out of her car and she doesn't spot him. She walks into the house. Then he waits.
Some time passes. Night falls.
He waits for her to leave.
Yeah.
And then he goes in.
Yeah. I thought, cool, he's going to have a look around.
Yeah.
And then he gets in there and someone's there. I thought, cool, fight scene.
Yeah. No.
This dude inside knows Vincent.
I've written a note here before we get to this bit. I've written a note saying, is Bruce Willis not wondering where his man is and where his money is?
Yeah, it's
been like 3 days now since this all happened.
Yeah.
He must be wondering what's going on. But anyway, he goes in the house. There's a dude there. The dude in there does know Vincent. This is Russell.
Yeah.
Russell works for the Diamond Exchange.
He says, the driver's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I set this up. I sourced the diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Vincent that, we could do a heist here.
Yeah.
I'm the man on the inside, sort of thing.
I know Vince. I know where he is. He tells Sonny where he is. And Sonny's like, thank you very much for your information. And he fucks off again.
No, this is my favourite line in this movie.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
And it's 50 Cent who speaks it, and it's so bad. Because Russell's like, well, look, it's just diamonds. It doesn't matter. No one got hurt. And Fiddy goes, I got hurt. I got shot.
Yeah.
And he says, it's just so unnatural. And it's such weird scripting. He says, my longtime friend Dave Hall got clipped.
I remember thinking, that's not how people speak.
That is not how real people speak. My longtime friend Dave Hall. And I tell you what, it's definitely not language 50 Cent uses.
No. Oh my God, man. Sonny leaves. He's got information out of this guy and he leaves. Russell, however, goes straight to see Vince.
Of course he does, yeah.
So if Sonny had kept on with following people, he'd have found him straight
He
away.
would, yeah.
But he didn't. Russell blames Vince for fucking up.
Yeah, so you fucked up.
Fucked up
this guy's still alive. He's in my house.
Dude. He's come to my house, Vince.
Yeah.
That's what he says. So Vince just shoots him and kills him.
Yeah.
Russell's dead. And then Mia is there. Mia is the driver. This is her actual name.
And she is like, I can't believe you shot that guy.
Yeah,
I had to fuck that guy for months to set this up.
Yeah. Why did you?
Yeah.
She's somehow related to Vince.
Yes.
We never find out how.
No.
But they're related in some way.
Let's just say they're brother and sister.
Can we say that when Sonny grew up with Vince?
Oh, yeah, good point.
This is what I'm thinking. Who the fuck is this girl? I assume they were lovers or something, but they said they were related.
Yeah.
So how they're related, we don't know. Maybe second cousins twice removed or something. Cut back to Bruce Willis. Remember him? He's still in this film. He's just sitting, having his breakfast, reading the sports pages.
He's doing the old man thing about like moaning about cell phones because he's like, oh, why papers? My favourite part of the day is to sit and read my paper and drink my coffee.
Yeah.
And it really grinds my gears when I see youngsters hunched over their cell phones. Can't beat a newspaper.
Yeah, it's really weird. But he says to the butler, I guess, whoever brought his breakfast in, have you seen Petey?
Yeah,
remember that guy?
Where's that $2 million that I was?
That $2 million
I sent those guys out to fight.
That was a few days ago now, and I've not seen Petey or this money. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Or Sonny.
Yeah. Or that kid. Yeah, he says all that kid.
And then the guy goes, Funny you should mention that, because we've got one of the Russians downstairs.
I
haven't told you yet.
Yeah, I've forgotten about Pete.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
But yeah, also we've kidnapped a Russian dude. Oh, so weird. Sonny then goes back to church. Literally nothing happens. He just moans at the priest again. Vincent meets up with another mob boss, because this is like the 6th mob boss we've met now in this film.
Vince is after some protection.
Yeah. This guy's called John.
Yeah.
The mob boss is called John. He's not happy because he's found out that Biggs is involved.
Yeah.
And Biggs is a bigger mob boss than John is.
Yeah.
So he's like, I can't do anything to help you now.
Yeah. Because
that puts me in danger. And if Biggs asks where you are, I will sell you out.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared of this Bruce Willis man.
Yeah.
So Vincent's like, for fuck's sake, what's going on? You don't understand what's going on in my life. Sonny watches a funeral from a distance.
Oh, this is his longtime friend Dave Hall.
It's his funeral for longtime friend Dave Hall. That's what it says on his gravestone. Did you notice? Longtime friend Dave Hall. He doesn't go to the funeral. He watches it from a distance, and then when all the mourners leave and his girlfriend's left there, he goes and speaks to her.
It's just really bad writing, because he gives her a hug and he says, "Don't worry, I'm going to make it better," which came across really creepy.
It did.
I'm thinking, what are you going to do? Bring a dead husband back?
But why didn't he just go to the funeral?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would have been. It was fine to go to the funeral.
Because he had to melancholily watch it from afar.
Yeah, and then talk to his girlfriend afterwards. He does. He says, "I will make it better." Then, and possibly the best scene in the film, he goes to visit Vince's dad.
Yeah, I forgot about this guy.
James Remar.
Yeah.
He's still in it. He's still a thing. Sonny goes to visit him in prison, and he doesn't say anything to him. They've got these phones.
Yeah,
that
it's
you
the
have in
classic
prison,
either
through
side
the
of the glass. Yeah,
and he just says, "Is there anything you want me to tell your son before I kill him?"
Yeah.
And James Remar's face drops, and he just attacks the glass.
Spits at him. It's good acting. It's good angry acting.
It's the best bit in this film because James Remar's a really good actor. Yeah. He loses it. He gets carried away by the guards, and I thought, that's actually quite good. I enjoyed that scene. Vincent is now doing the naughty with a girl in a room, and Mia comes in, interrupts him.
She's like, "What? Stop messing around.
Stop messing about. We're in trouble here." She gets the girl. She kicks the girl out, tells her to piss off, basically. And then she says to Vince, "I'm really worried about Sonny." And Vince is like, "Don't worry about Sonny. He's what does he call him? He's like he's a hothead. He'll come through the front door. We don't need to worry about him."
Yeah, he ain't going to take us by surprise.
Then she leaves.
Why is my next line in my notes, Sonny goes down the shops?
Because Sonny goes to the shop.
Okay.
So it made me laugh because it's like Mia walks into this bedroom, kicks this girl out, says to him, "I'm really worried about Sonny," and then she leaves herself.
Yeah.
That girl could have stayed.
Yeah.
She hadn't even made it to the front door by the time Mia had left. Yeah, Sonny goes to a hardware shop to buy some supplies.
Okay.
He goes to get some indescript liquid and a spade. I think
that's right, yeah.
Petrol or oil or weed killer or something flammable.
Also, he's good with the kids because he helps a kid who can't reach...
Yeah,
I don't know, some knife or something.
I think it was a saw blade or something. Yeah, this kid was after. He just gives it to him. Then the hitman shows up. This is quite a good scene. Remember the hitman, the scrawny, weird hitman? He shows up at Mia's apartment.
I mean, unfortunate for her that she has many glass furnishings.
I've literally written that. Throws her through a lot of glass is my next note. So he hits her through a picture frame.
Yeah.
Then he smashes her through a plate glass door.
Yeah.
Then he throws her through a glass coffee table.
Yeah.
And she's very much covered in glass at this point. And it's like they've got the same sound effects for all the glass.
Yeah.
He wants his diamonds. Mia obviously doesn't have his diamonds. She's no idea where they are. She's begging for her life.
Yeah.
And then the scene cuts away.
We don't know why I don't think, unless I've missed it, we don't have anything to connect why he's gone to her first.
No idea. I don't even know how you would join Vince and her up. But then he found Sonny in 2 days, so it's taken him a bit longer to find Mia. Vince and his henchmen turn up at Mia's apartment.
Oh yeah, I put that Vince salad shames his mate.
It does.
Because his mate's like, "I'm hungry, can we get some food after this?"
Yeah.
And Vince goes, "Yeah, what do you want?" He was like, "Salad." And Vince's like, "You fucking pussy, what are you eating leaves for?"
That's almost the exact line and the exact delivery of how that goes. They turn up at Mia's apartment and the doors mysteriously open.
Yeah.
And so we go into, we don't know if she's dead or not at this point, but then she's dead. We go in. Vince looks very sad for a few minutes while he looks at her dead body. Then he gets really angry and he kicks some more glass.
He does, yeah.
Some more glass gets broken. We still don't know how these two are related, but somehow they are. and that's why he's annoyed. Biggs, meanwhile, is still torturing Russians.
I don't know. This might have been the best bit because I almost laughed or smirked, and I think that was the goal because Bruce Willis is having fun here with his henchmen, torturing this Russian guy. Yeah. And he plays it. He just plays it really nice and off the cuff because this guy's like, "Oh, we're gonna kill this guy," and Willis is like, "I don't fucking care. Yeah. We've drowned loads of people."
Yeah. So basically, at this point,
it's the spark you want to see from Bruce Willis.
Yeah. At this point, Biggs thinks that the Russians have somehow killed Petey, killed Sonny, and taken his $2 million. Yeah. Because he doesn't know any different.
He thinks the job failed.
The Russians are still alive. Yeah. Because Sonny left them alive, but he thinks the job failed, and he thinks that they've killed his men. So they've got him hung upside down by his ankles over a vat of water. Yeah. And they just keep dipping him in, trying to get information out of him. But while they're doing it, they're having just a normal chat about baseball or something. And then they leave the guy in there too long and accidentally drown him. And you're right, Bruce Willis looks like he was having a lot of fun in that scene. They accidentally kill the Russian dude.
The guy does say the black guy's got the money, something like that. Yeah.
Vince then goes and Vince is back. It's the first time we've seen him for a while. He goes to meet a dude in a car park. It turns out he's bribing the prison governor.
Yeah,
to keep his dad in protected custody. But the price has gone up. Yeah. So this man who's just got $5 million doesn't want to pay the $100,000 the prison want. He gets really annoyed and doesn't pay it.
Yeah, he says you got 24 hours or your dad's going back to Gen Pop.
Gen Pop. It's $100,000 from somebody who's just stolen $5 million. He gives him 24 hours and then he goes to visit his dad. Yeah. Vince goes to visit his dad. And Vince turns into a little boy in front of his dad.
He does.
Tells his dad that Mia's dead.
Yes.
His dad does not react to that at all, as if he doesn't even know who Mia is, although he does. And he turns into a little boy because he's like, "Dad, I'm doing my best." Yeah. That's his actual line. And his dad's just slagging him off. He's like, "You've always been useless. You're useless. You don't know what you're doing. You really are a little shit. Big men make big moves. Are you a big man?" Is what he said. That's James Remor's line to him. It's a really ridiculous scene because it makes Vincent look like a nobody. Yeah. And he's supposed to be the big bad in this film. Sonny, meanwhile, is at home drinking whiskey with a teddy bear.
He is, yes, counting his dollar.
Counting some money out, and he cuts open the teddy bear and puts all the money inside the teddy bear, and then puts the teddy bear into a massive, great big box.
Yeah, it's a huge box.
It is a huge box.
Then walks in slow motion.
Yep.
Through a train station.
He does, yeah.
And he puts I presume a bag with some more money in a locker.
Some stuff in a locker in the train station. And then he goes to see Biggs, which Biggs is quite surprised to see him because Biggs thinks he's dead and he's not. And he tells Biggs that Vincent killed Petey and took Biggs's money.
And shot him.
Yeah. That's his cover story. It's a clever cover story because it covers up what has happened and it also gets Biggs angry at Vince. And he says he needs help and Vincent has an army around him. So I need you to help me out. So they go for a drive. They have a conversation while they're in the back of the car about whether he believes in God or not. And he does. And Biggs says to him, "It'll be okay, don't worry." Yeah. Just like that. This is such a weird film. Randomly, they're in a limo. A full-on stretch limousine. Yeah. And they drive into this garage. And Vincent's there with this Johnny dude.
Who's presumably off screen.
Has said what he has done. What he said he'd do.
Biggs has put the feelers out. Yeah. Who knows this guy? Someone get him for me. Yeah. And this is the exchange that's been set up. Yes. That's all happened off screen. Yeah.
So Johnny said he would do that if Biggs asked him, and it looks like Biggs has asked him. This scene does not go according to plan.
How bad is the shootout as well?
The worst shootout I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a worse one. So it all goes a bit pear-shaped from the start. One of Biggs' henchmen shoots one of Johnny's henchmen shoots one of Biggs' guys. Yeah. Then all the guns start going off. Everyone starts getting shot, including Biggs. Yeah. Biggs takes a shot and goes down.
We don't see
Bruce
Willis again,
I assume he dies. I assume he gets killed.
Because we never get told if you can't see any detail.
No idea who's getting shot, who's shooting, or who's shooting who. But we do see Bruce Willis go down from a gunshot, and we never see him again in this film. So I'm assuming he got killed. The big mob boss never really gets an ending in this film.
Yeah.
Vince in the kerfuffle legs it. Sonny sees him legging it and follows him. And we get a foot chase scene.
And it's literally the trope through the back of a washroom, through a shop,
through a clothes shop,
into
through a
the
restaurant, through another glass window, through 2 restaurants. He went through another restaurant, and then he loses him when he runs in front of a bus near a Christmas tree. Because remember, Christmas film.
Yeah, Vince escapes. But does he escape? Because he gets back home.
He goes home. He calls the prison, and he says, "I'm coming with the money.
Yeah.
Don't move my dad into Gen Pop. I have the money. Whatever you do, I'll be there in an hour."
Yeah.
Then the hitman shows up.
He does.
Our friendly local hitman.
Vince is still seated behind his desk.
Yep.
They have a little chat.
He says, "I presume you found your girlfriend," the hitman does to Vince. And Vince says, "She wasn't my girlfriend. She is my family." So we still don't know how they're related.
I just put... Go on, sorry.
No, go on, you carry on.
I just put Vince, then Greedo's.
Yeah. The guy, the hitman's being all...
The
hitman's being all like, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Where's my $5 million?
Yeah.
And Vince has got a hidden gun under the table, shoots the guy in the leg.
Yeah.
Takes him down, shoots him in the head. That's the end of the hitman. Not a very good hitman. Didn't kill a single person. Well, he killed Mia.
Yeah.
But off screen. He beat her up on screen, killed her off screen.
Then Vince steps outside.
Yeah.
And he is pistol whipped.
Yep, somebody knocks him out from behind now. And then we find out that it's Sonny.
And we're back to where this movie started. In the junkyard.
So Sonny was... remember at the beginning of the film, he was looking into the boot of his car?
Yeah.
He has Vince in the boot of his car. He got a pillowcase or something over his head.
Yes.
He pours liquid all over him.
Some sort of oil.
Yeah. Didn't say what it was. No. It was some sort of flammable liquid.
Gives him a spade.
He pours it all over this pillowcase and then pulls the pillowcase off him. Gives him a spade and says, "Start digging." They argue a bit.
Vince has got no chill.
No.
Because he
still thinks he's in the right.
Yeah.
He's like, everything I've ever done is for you two, for Sonny and Dave.
Yeah, he even disses long-time friend Dave Hall.
That was the last straw for Sonny. Because Sonny was kind of agreeing with Vince. He's like, "Yeah, you did do everything for me. Yeah. You've made me the man I am.
But then you screwed us over.
But then you screwed us over. And then when he disses Dave Hall, he shoots him in the leg. Vince then says, "I had no choice. They were going to kill my dad." So Sonny's like, "I quite like your dad."
Yeah. He's like, "We could have worked it out. We're bros. We could have done something."
Yeah. And Sonny then leaves. He doesn't kill Vince.
Yeah.
He doesn't set him on fire, although he's covered him in liquid. And he doesn't make him dig his own grave, although he's given him a spade. He just says, "We're not the same. You're fucking pathetic."
Yeah.
And then he drives off. And just leaves Vince standing there in this car park.
On one leg.
And that is the last time we see Vince in this film. We then cut to the prison. Vince didn't get there with the money. So James Remar, Vince's dad, has been put into Gen Pop.
He don't last long.
It
was a good shanking, actually.
There was a good shanking. He got, 20 shanks?
Yeah.
He got murdered pretty much as soon as he got put into Gen Pop by this dude. I think it was the same dude from earlier.
I think so, yeah.
He just shanked him a lot. And then Dave's missus...
Yeah, Mrs. Dave Hall gets the teddy bear.
She receives the teddy bear. There's a note attached to the teddy bear that just says, "Look inside, love Dave."
Yep. It's a teddy bear from beyond the grave.
Sonny goes to the train station, gets the bag out of his locker. And then the voiceover comes back on.
Fuck me, this line. Jesus Christ.
He says, "An eye for an eye leaves everyone blind." Which means this is a revenge film, and then at the end, you can't use that line in a revenge film. And then he says, "I can live with the fact that Vincent is alive. Can he?"
Yeah.
And then the film ends. And I'm like, yeah, he probably can. He was literally fine.
Alive.
He's been alive. He was alive. He was fine before that hitman showed up. He's probably all right.
I mean, he's also probably going to come after you.
Yeah. He's still got the fucking money. He's still got the 5 million. Oh, who ended up with the 2 million?
That was the money that Fiddy had.
Okay, so he ended up with that.
So he ended up with Biggs's 2 million from the Russians.
But Vince ended up with the 5 million, didn't he? The diamonds.
Yeah.
Nobody ever took that off Vince.
Well, his guy. Yeah, that crime went through, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whether he had the diamonds or the money, the crime went to plan, and Vince was the only one who of the three of them who profited from it.
So he ends up in this film better off than anybody,
and alive at the end.
Yeah.
Although he's not got a dad, but
he's not got a dad. That is true.
Or a family,
or any friends,
because his maybe sister's dead as well.
His Mia's dead. But he's got 5 million. Quite a new family with that. That film ends there. What did you think?
It's shit. It's so shit.
It's fucking awful, is what it is.
It looks terrible. It's so badly written. 50 Cent's awful.
Ryan Phillipe
is really bad, but he's phoning it in.
Yeah.
And I can kind of forgive the guy.
Yeah.
It's the action's terrible. For 10 minutes, it becomes a weird comedy that's not funny. That's just 10 minutes from a totally different style of film from a different director.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that happens.
No, not me.
But I've really enjoyed talking about it.
Same.
But it's shambolic.
It's one of those films that is so bad that it's fun to laugh at it because it's that bad.
You could not predict the lurching in tone and style within this, an hour and 24-minute movie.
Minutes. When Randy Couture shoots himself in the head, you're like, what on earth is happening here?
Yeah.
And it all ends up, nothing gets resolved at the end, other than that Dave actually managed to get some money.
Yeah, because Sonny is a venerable and forgiving man.
Yeah. But Vince ends up with the most money out of all of them. It's so bizarre. It's so bad. It's really bad. But it's a lot of fun just to laugh at it. It's one of those films that we'd do on a watch along and have a great time.
Yeah.
It's just...
But as a film, it's shambolic.
It is. It's awful. I was going to say Vince McMahon then. Bruce Willis looks like he's enjoying himself. But that's, 3 days of filming for him at the most, I would think.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, it's awful. It was a struggle to get through it, and it's an hour and 24 minutes long. It's shorter than an episode of Stranger Things.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, that is the new unit of measurement.
We can't use that for long because on July the 1st, everything's shorter than an episode of Stranger Things. Yeah, I've got nothing good to say about this.
No, I mean,
it's fun to talk about it and fun to laugh at it.
There's literally a couple of the shanking's good. It's 2 seconds of an hour and 24-minute movie. Yeah.
Yeah. When he just pulled that tarp out as if he just kept them in his lounge.
It's woeful.
Yes, it is. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I don't understand. Well, yeah, we've covered it in the setup of the story. I don't understand how it gets made. I don't understand why does it look like it does.
We haven't really mentioned the fact that grey filter's on all the way through.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's in black and white in some parts.
Everything's bleached out. It looks terrible, honestly. It's
an ugly film.
Yeah.
It is an ugly film. It doesn't look good. That being said, what's the best thing about it?
It's probably just the bits that Bruce Willis are in, because he does light it up a bit.
He does, James.
Which is really nice to see. I'm not just saying that because of what the last time we were in the movie. This is now an 11-year-old movie, so he was clearly in a bit of a better place.
Yeah. He looked like he was enjoying making films, and he hasn't looked like that since this, probably.
James Remar. You said the scene where James Remar sort of leaps at 50 Cent. That is probably the best.
When he says to him,
scene.
"Have you got any last words for your son before I kill him?" and his face drops and he just jumps, and it's brilliant. But yeah, those two are the best thing about it.
Yeah,
and they're in it for probably less than 10 minutes together.
Oh, easily.
Easily,
I would say.
Yeah. What would you change about it?
I would like to see the other script, please.
Same. Let's just make that one instead.
Because, Ryan Philippe's star has fallen, but in 2011,
should we see what he made before and after this?
Yeah, he's not making. Well, if he said himself that this was a shit movie, I want to see what the other version of this movie is.
I've got the quote.
I also wonder at what point in that process did 50 Cent come on board?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mention that he was part of this scheme. So, was that later on once?
So the IMDb trivia about that interview that he did says Ryan Phillipe was disappointed with this film's final product. In discussing his career during promotion for The Lincoln Lawyer, he was quoted as saying, "I did this piece of shit movie with 50 Cent. It was just a situation I didn't want to be in. I was sold a bill of goods, and it turned out to be something different, which is often the case in this business." That was his quote. Let's see what he made before and after it, shall we? See what sort of star he was at. Has he done anything recently? Is he still a thing?
I couldn't tell you.
He's in a TV show currently called I Love That For You, where he plays Ryan Phillipe.
Okay.
And was this film 2000? He's in Wish Upon. We've not mentioned that.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
I can't remember.
He's the second time on his show.
2011, this was.
So it was the same year as The Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, okay. Fine.
And just after this, he made a film called Revenge for Jolly, which is 4.6. But then he made a TV show called Damages, which he's in quite a lot of episodes of, and that's quite highly rated. So
I think that's Glenn Close, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Highly regarded.
And
TV
Ted
show.
Danson.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was in a decent place in his career at that point.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Lawyer is a massive film, or it was at that point. Yeah, so he just got conned into making this film, and you could tell he literally dialed it in all the way through it, and it is that bad.
That's so fascinating.
It is, isn't
Great
it?
story.
Great story. Stream table. Do you want me to run through what we've got so far?
Yeah.
So currently there's 7 films in the stream table. Number 7 is 8 Remains. That's confusing. 6 is Target. 5 is Comes a Bright Day. 4 is The Land of Steady Habits. 3 is The Parts You Lose. Currently number 2 is All at Sea. And currently at number 1 at the top of the stream is Summit of the Gods. Where does this film go?
This is rock bottom for me.
Worse than 8 Remains?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Wow, okay.
I think looking at it overall, 8 Remains is an absolute mess. But I think what we said in the episode, there is a crumb of a kernel of a decent idea there somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not realised.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think I enjoyed this a little bit more than 8 Remains.
Okay.
Just a tiny... This was fun to laugh at. Whereas you can't
admittedly.
do that. 8 Remains is dull and boring.
And not very accessible.
No.
But this is... I completely agree with what you're saying, but that's the reason I'm putting it on. Because I think it's worse, but it was more fun to watch.
I think as a general film, more people would watch this.
Yes, they would.
And get something out of it than they would out of 8 Remains.
But I understand how 8 Remains exists. Because it's a low-budget, independent
you know how this exists.
German movie.
It was conned out of people.
Yes, it was. But that still doesn't explain the choices within this.
No.
That are made in terms of style and writing and...
It's definitely worse than Target. So it is between those two. But
yeah.
I think this is slightly better because it's more of a mainstream film.
That doesn't make better.
No, it doesn't make it better, but it makes it more relatable, which made it a little... there's something there that I've enjoyed about this film.
It's a good hate watch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it's the worst film we've seen. That's where I am with it.
Okay. Well, I don't care enough to argue it with you. I would have liked the symmetry of 8 Remains being 8 in the table.
Hey, it still might happen.
Yeah, okay. I have no issue with it being bottom. Let's put it bottom. It's close though between those two.
Though they were both pretty torrid to watch.
Hard to watch film.
Yeah.
That being said, would you like us to pick next week's film?
I sure would.
Shall we remove Robin from his box?
Yes.
I don't know why he's in a box, bless him.
Yes, let her out.
What do you want? What would you like Robin to pick for you this week?
Do you know what? I think I want a good drama.
A good drama?
Yeah, I want something we'll get our teeth into a bit.
Yeah, something we can enjoy.
Yeah, just something that I can come away and go, fucking X person was really good in that.
Yeah. It may have been a terrible film, but he was great.
Yeah.
Okay. I want a horror film. I've said it for a few weeks now.
Yeah, sweet.
I've had one for a while. Ready?
Yeah.
It has picked a film called Pentagram. Now, if that is not a horror film, I don't know what the name of a horror film is. That sounds like a horror film to me.
100%. It must be.
Pentagram is described on IMDb as a horror. That's it. There's literally one genre on the list.
Okay.
It's a horror film. It's also a country of origin is the United Kingdom. It's a British horror film.
Nice.
Do you want a synopsis?
Yes, please.
It says, while sheltering in a remote, empty house, 4 thieves become trapped in a pentagram. If they leave, they risk the wrath of a gruesome demonic entity.
Okay, I'm on board. That sounds fun. I mean, it might be awful, but it sounds...
You say it might be awful. Do you want to know what its IMDb rating is?
Oh, of course, yeah.
2.6.
Oh, gee.
Ouchie.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not... I think it's going to be awful, Nick. The first review on IMDb says one of the worst out there. It's from 2019 and it only runs for an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's a short one. So yeah, go out and watch Pentagram. And in the meantime, Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast is the username. If you want to drop us an email, you can do that. Our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded. You will find all 6 stream tables and loads of other cool stuff, and you might even find some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
egg spoon.
What's an egg spoon?
Spoon for your eggs.
And they're just teaspoons.
Depends how big your egg is.
Okay. I'm not even sure that's a real thing. Oh, you've framed me now. After you've done all that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottomofthestream. On there, for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month.
You'll have it by the time you hear this episode.
Oh, okay. Cool.
If you're a Patreon.
If you're a Patreon or want to become one, there's a tease for you. And if you come in at the top level, you can have a wild card, which means you can pick the film that we watch next week, and we'll give Robin the week off. After you've done all that, head over to Discord. The Discord is where we chat to people, we make friends, we do all sorts of cool stuff. We play games, we do watch-alongs, we have a great time, and it's a really good little community. So come and join us in Discord. The Discord link will be at the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please leave us a review or a rating. Anyway, you can review or rate podcasts. That could be Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're all over all that shit.
We are.
Come and find us.
Come and find us wherever you can.
And join the group.
Yeah.
We have a fun time. Growing a really good little community.
Yeah, we are.
You'll make some good friends.
And you can join us in our next watch-along.
Terrible movies.
We'll have some good times.
There's some good ones as well.
After you've done all that, now I've done that bit. I've forgotten what I say at this point. Go out and watch whatever that film was called, Pentagram. And then we'll come back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday to talk about it with you.
Cheers.
Bye.